Yo, what up guys, how's it going? Kermode here. Welcome to a really cool tutorial. I actually haven't made what I'm about to make before. I had this idea last night and I thought maybe we could go through the steps to make it. I had an idea for a dynamic EQ inside of Ableton. Now for those of you that don't know what a dynamic EQ is, it's an EQ that only turns things down when a sound passes a certain threshold. It's kind of like the combination between a compressor and an EQ, but it's not a multi-band compressor because it's based off of just the filter band you have on your EQ. And I love this tool. Like, I use dynamic EQs all the time, but maybe you guys can't afford one. Maybe you want to make your own custom one. I just think it's going to be a super useful tool for everyone out there. I love this idea. So we're going to make it using three things, an EQ, and two things, an EQ8 and an envelope follower. So it's not going to be your typical dynamic EQ where things cross a threshold and it turns it down. It's actually going to be based off the volume of the incoming signal. And we're going to do it on my voice. So what I want to happen is I want maybe, let's say, the mid range right here to turn down when it gets to a certain volume. Let's just set our band. Let's say we want this to turn down, 225 hertz to turn down when things get too loud. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the Max for Live device. We're going to grab the envelope follower. This comes with Max for Live if you guys have Max for Live. So super straightforward, super easy. Right there, you can see the dynamics reacting to my voice. This is great. Now what I want to do is I want to map this to the gain of our sound right here. Now you see right now it's turning it up. As I get louder, it turns up. We don't really want that. So what we want to do, I think, is we want to turn it negatively down. And we want to start up above. So you're going to take this percent value. You're going to start it up there. And no, that didn't seem to do it. So that's positively turning it up. Maybe we want the negative range to be down. How does this thing work? Testing. How does this thing work? Fuck. See, I should know this. So it sits right there. Gain. There we go. So I don't know what I did. So I think this is the maximum range I want to be down 100%. This is where it sits at. So if there's no signal, it should just be flat. And the more gain we add, see how it really ducks it there? So the more incoming gain there is, the more it ducks it. So the louder I get, the more it ducks that volume. That's nice. So we got that there, figured it out. So now I can turn down this specific volume. Now if you don't want it to be so jittery, you could give it a little bit of a rise so it's a bit smoother, and a little bit of a fall too. So you see how that kind of smoothed things out there? So that's nice. Things are a little smoother. We could add a bit more gain. So there we go. If I go, turns it down. Blah, turns it down. You see, you got this nice dynamic EQ. But at this point, it's taking the dynamics of my entire voice, and I don't want that. What if I only wanted it to turn down when 225 hertz got loud? So what we're going to do is we're going to group this, and we're going to add a whole separate EQ before the envelope follower here. So I'm going to create another chain for my dry signal. So my dry signal's here, and this is just the input chain for our dynamic EQ. So we're not hearing it, it's just input. And what we're going to do is we're going to put an EQ before the envelope follower. And what we're going to do is we're just going to set it to try and make a little band right around 225 hertz. So just bam. So maybe this will go to about 220. I don't know how tight you can make the bands in Ableton. Probably really tight. As tight as you want, I guess, theoretically. I just don't know what's going to come through. So we'll get about the range there of where my voice is. Maybe add a bit more gain, tighten up the rise and fall. And there, anytime 225 hertz gets too loud in my voice, that ducks right there. So yeah, it's kind of like a dynamic EQ, and I guess it works. There we go. I had never really tried it before. I've never really done this before, but it seems to be quite effective. So use it in your music. This is essentially a dynamic EQ inside of Ableton using envelope follower to turn down certain bands, and then you have the EQ here setting based off volume on what frequency is actually turning it down. So you could actually have a completely different input volume turning down that frequency. I don't know why you would want that, but you could. There's a lot you could do with this tool. It's really effective. Yeah, there we go. That's it. I guess it worked. There we go. I wasn't sure if it would work, and I'm never 100% sure how to use the envelope follower, but I guess this was setting the range so it sits at 50 and it's going down to 0%, something like that. I could be wrong, but it's clearly pushing the volume down negatively, and it's working pretty quickly based off my incoming volume. So there we go. It's really tight. Bam! Boo! Turn it down. Whoa. Oh. There we go. We got the harmonic right there. Oh. Without the EQ. Sick. I love it. There we go, guys. Dynamic EQ inside of Ableton using only 2 tools. Bam. Bibbidi. Bo. Thanks, guys. I'm Kermode. Peace.